Okay, we were there in the story. Yeah, story number 3, the lottery, the lottery ticket, and I think I read the first. I was still in the middle of the first page, and yeah. So really, let me share here again to show you where I am. Yeah, the first page here, as you can see, really the whole story is quite funny in a way, really very funny, to see how the whole idea and the effect of daydreaming is to say, you know, both, I think, both man and wife in a way are interested to see, you know, the impact of winning the lottery, winning a large amount really of money, and what to do with this money. And I remember I think asking some of you to say, what would you do with such an amount of money, and so on. So really the dreams here is, of course, I think the main idea really is the effect, and how much sometimes it really gets into your nerves and it makes you really negative in so many ways, to even to change your entire, really your entire entity and character and nice, if you like, behavior and so on. So you become, because yes, sometimes the feeling or having money, sometimes people really get changed, and you know the reality of people through testing and through money. I think this is a very clear thing we know in reality. And we say this, you know, we really know people, you know, the reality of people, the reality of men and women, of course, when they become maybe rich, or when they are, if you like, well off. And I think we say that men are really revealed. I say men, really, I mean both men and women are actually revealed through the experience or the testing of having money, what to do with this money, how to behave, what kind of life they would lead, what kind of, you know, how they spent it, and so on. And the whole idea here is the effect of daydreaming. We say, yeah, it's good to dream sometimes. You know, it's good to dream. It's maybe healthy. It's maybe healthy a little bit to dream. It's good to dream, but not to, of course, the short story and the whole idea really means is not to be completely overridden or overwhelmed or completely controlled and imprisoned by your dreams. And really, this is the story. What's the story about? The man here became really an ugly man in every sense, and he changed totally changed from the first moment we saw him in the story. He was quiet, nice, etc., etc., very happy, very self-satisfied, very easy and okay. Everything is, you know, had his supper, and he's okay, he's happy in his life. He never thought about being rich, or he never thought about being a better man or a richer or whatever. He's okay with whatever he has. But then this idea of being rich really changed him miserably. And at the end of the story, of course, in a very dramatic way, we see him coming out or going out to kill himself. we say, come on. Oh, come on. That's too much. That's too much. Isn't it? And also, the story really tells us that this family is really, or the family relationship here, the story really also tells us about what kind of family relationship we have here. Really, what kind of relationship? The man and his wife here, it seems they can easily be agitated, and they can easily be changed, and then they can easily be deformed, and they can easily be turned into enemies instead of being wife and husband. And mainly the husband, he was looking at his wife in so many funny ways as his enemy. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I mean, this is unbelievable to look how the man really here is doing, and he's looking in very funny, crazy way to talk about his wife in so many funny ways. And I think that was really funny and comical. And Anton Chekhov, I think, did a great job in here to reveal the inner workings of our minds, to reveal the inner psyche, how we feel, how we behave, how we act sometimes, is unbelievable. And I think this is a very lovely short story in many ways. So the main theme, the main idea here is daydreaming, or the effect of daydreaming could be the positive, and most largely, I think, most likely, or if you like, more and more about really the negative effect of daydreaming, because here daydreaming led to destruction, led to discord, really, to absolute anger and fight between man and his wife, even driven the man to total, if you like, disappointment, or maybe total disarray of deciding to go out of the house, feeling absolutely angry, as if his wife is ugly and terrible, and so on and so forth. We shall say, well, calm down, man, calm down, wait, be patient, calm down. Things are not like that. Reality is not like that. People are not like that. Come on, don't say this. And really, this is the whole, I think, thing I can find in this story here. Have you read the whole story, girls and boys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, do you agree with me?
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, any different ideas? Yeah, so really the real problem here is, as I said, is this a question of the impact of when you think and overthink and think and overthink, and sometimes this hallucination, and the question of going on about it and going on and about it, and so on and so forth. So this would lead you more, when you start to wind your mind into thinking negatively, then you turn to be negative. Try to calm down and say, as we say, I think we say this in Syrian Arabic, we say, Salli al Nabi. Salli al Nabi. Yeah, means wait, be patient, Sami billah ya Sheikh, Sami billah. And I think, this is the idea here. Our friend, I think, Dimitrich, went crazy about this idea that his wife has won the money and she will not give him anything. And he feels terribly, upset and all that. And I think this is really amazing. I will see that. Notice here, when you were saying, wait a bit, we have plenty of time to be disappointed. So that means he knows, as if to say he knows that they have not won. Why do you say to be disappointed? I mean, he hasn't seen the number yet, but he's saying, well, maybe if you, let's see that you have won. And if we are going to be disappointed, wait. So let's enjoy the moment of being winners, you know? It's it's on the second line from the top. So the prize is 75,000. That's not money, but power, capital. And in a minute, I shall look at the list. And there, 26A, I say, what if we really have won? Look at again, I think, I don't know if I said this to you, when he's saying it's not money, it's power, it's capital. Yeah, I mean, this is really true. Sometimes we say this, really the question here, when we say capital, means a lot of money, really many, if you like, maybe today in our numbers could be not thousands, but millions. And you say, wow, you know, this is even power. Well, because really sometimes it's funny. Yeah, sometimes people think, and I think I've heard it many times. Really, I've heard it many times. People who are rich, sometimes they are, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time. I've heard this many times by people. In reality, they say, well, you know, he has some money, but without his money, he's nothing. Without his money, he is ugly man. Without his money, he is stupid and terrible man. But because of his money, you know, he has the power. Yeah, I mean, this is really terrible. Sometimes people, and I think that's true, really. That is really true. People sometimes, and it's a shame. It is really a shame. If you have to respect someone only because they are rich, I think because this is terrible. If you really don't like someone and you pretend that you like someone only because he's rich, I think this is not good. Really, it's not good. That's why he's saying power, because people think if you are rich, then you are powerful, you have authority, and so on. And I think this is true in many ways. As I said, I have heard this, and I've seen people like that who are really nothing. But, you know, out of the blue, they became rich. And, you know, you start people saying to them, you know, and in a way, this is total hypocrisy, absolute hypocrisy. And, you know, it's funny that society is such a society where you find many hypocrites around. Soha?
Yes, doctor.
Are you having your tea, or you still asleep?
Not asleep, but I don't have a tea.
Yeah. Do you agree with me? I'm talking about hypocrisy.
Yeah. Some people are just a face of money. They don't have moral, and people need to respect them because they have the money, they have the power. And I think at one point in this story, the husband was afraid that the wife will be the same. I mean, he was afraid that she will be independent, and then she wouldn't need him, and she will be her own. And this is why sometimes men decide to use their money to force the wife to choose decisions that they don't want to.
Yeah. Any comments, boys?
Mister, I think it's also mentioned in the story that the woman has her own daydreams.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm coming to this. I was waiting to come to this. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, the story is saying, in a reaction against them, I say, hey, you are the boss. You think you are the man. You think you are the boss. But I have my own dreams, especially when he said, I am not going to take her with me. I don't want, she will be trouble and she will be. And then he was thinking, about that. Yeah, she has her own dreams, maybe. Yeah, sometimes, we get. I think sometimes we really get worried about this, about that our women will be independent, totally independent, and maybe they will come back at us in sort of a revengeful way and say, hey, I have my own plans and my own dreams. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. I'm not going to be meeky, and I'm not your sheepish, sort of creature. I have my own plans. I have my own, agenda. Oh, really? Yeah. So, really, this is the idea here. Notice the man and his wife began laughing and staring at one another in silence. The possibility of winning bewildered them. They could not have said, could not have dreamed what they both needed that evening, that 75,000 for what they would buy, where they would go. They thought only of the figure, or the figures 9499 and 75,000, and pictured them in their imagination, while somehow they could not think of the happiness itself, which was so possible. So you see here, the narrator is commenting on them to say, well, maybe think about the possibility of being happy. Why are you thinking of, all this carry on about the negative and the ugly side of winning? Why don't you enjoy the fact that you have won, and you will, spend your money in a good way? And Ivan Dimitrich, of course, as I'm saying here, really, the story is more about the man than the wife, of course. But the narrator, really, the writer is giving us here a really excellent image about both. Ivan Dimitrich, holding the paper in his hand, walked several times from corner to corner, and only when he had recovered from the first impression, began dreaming a little. And here he started to tell us about his dreams, and I think this is really very funny, amazing funny, how he goes on and on and on about counting what to do and where, where to go, what vacation to take, and what to buy, and so on. And if we have one, he said, why, it will be a new life. Why, it will be a new life. It will be a transformation. The ticket is yours, but if it were mine, I should, first of all, of course, spend 25,000 on real property in the shape of an estate, 10,000 on immediate expenses, new furnishing, traveling, paying debts, and so on. The other 40,000 I would put in the bank and get interest on it. Yes, an estate, that would be nice, said his wife, sitting down and dropping her hands in her lap. Somewhere in the Tula or Oriol provinces, and of course the names here, these places, they are in Russia, because this Anton Chekhov is a Russian writer, so he's talking about here Russian society and Russian background. And again, you can see the idea. I think the man here is practical, saying, well, we have to pay to buy some property, to pay our debts, to buy new furnitures, and, you know, and put some money in the bank. Yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, logically, like we men sometimes think like that. And I think, you know, I agree with him to some extent. And again, here, notice the narrator is again judging him a lot. And pictures came crowding on his imagination. Again, as I said, you know, the story here, mostly here, as you can see, it's really about daydreaming and about, you know, the workings of your imagination. Notice crowding. Look at the verb here, really. Ideas crowding or pictures crowding. It's a lovely personification here, really, for ideas or pictures to crowd as a verb. Each more gracious and poetical than the other, or the last. And on all these pictures, he saw himself well-fed, serene, healthy, felt warm, even hot. Here, after eating a summer soup, cold as ice, he lay on his back on the burning sand, close to a stream, or in the garden under a lime tree. It is hot. His little boy and girl are crawling about near him. Look at, you know, and he goes on in wild dreams, really, all this absolute wild dreams. But remember, this is the narrator telling us this about his mind, what his mind is, if you like, turning and turning and turning in circles about what to have and what to enjoy. As I said, really, this is the judgment of the narrator, not of course, and I think commentary and rejection, if you like, of what these people are actually thinking here. Yes, go down the next paragraph. And yes, it would be nice to buy an estate, said his wife, also dreaming, and for her face, it was evident that she was enchanted by her thoughts. So here again, we see the narrator saying, yeah, of course, the wife also has her own dreams. And again, he said she was absolutely enchanted, meaning nearly intoxicated by her dreams in the same fashion, absolutely happy and unbelievably, you know, shocked. Again, the narrator, you know, gives us, as you can see, it's the judgment of the narrator all the time. The commentary of the narrator, the third person narrator, really. Ivan Dimitrich pictured himself autumn with its rains. Ivan Dimitrich pictured to himself autumn with its rain, its cold evenings, and its St. Martin's summer. At that season, he would have to take longer walks about the garden and beside the river so as to get thoroughly chilled, and then drink a big glass of vodka and eat a salted mushroom, and so on. Notice it's a shame, really, here. The narrator really is mentioning all this to say that this family, really, the man and his wife, really are, as I said, they are really poor. They are really poor family. But they're okay. They're fine. They feel okay. Because at the beginning of the story, he said, all his salary for the whole year is $1,200. For the whole year, $1,200. And they're okay. I mean, I know people here, really, I know people in many places, in many countries. I know people who are absolutely happy, maybe with 300 riyals or 400 riyals a month. And they are happy. They are very happy. And they don't care about the other, maybe, things in life. They are happy. Yeah, in their own way. They are okay. Now, this family here, really, it seems, that they were completely happy and they never thought about all these crazy things. But the narrator here is saying, look what maybe they were thinking about. They were maybe working their minds over and over and over, and maybe getting themselves busier and busier and busier about things which are not maybe real to them, or they don't care. You know, like for example, you know, I know this sometimes people, for example, how many t-shirts or how many shoes do you have in your place, in your house? How many things do you have that you don't really wear sometimes? You don't wear. They are just there in your cupboards. You have 100 of t-shirts, for example, but you don't wear, you wear only 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. How many things do you really buy and sometimes you never use? How many books you buy and you never read? You understand? Really here, the story is telling us that if you want to dream and dream and dream and work your mind over things, yeah, you get busy and you get, maybe you will get headaches and you will get really angry. And that's the situation here. Our man, our friend went mad at the end of the story. And that's why, you know, he walked about the room, you know, here you can see, notice, Ivan Dimitrich stopped and looked at his wife. I should go abroad, you know, Masha. And he began thinking how nice it would be in the late autumn to go abroad somewhere to the south of France, to Italy, to India. I should certainly go abroad too, his wife said. But look at the number of the ticket. Wait. Yeah. So he said, I want to go abroad. She said, I want to go abroad too. Okay. But let's see the number first. And he said, wait. He walked about the room and went on thinking. It occurred to him, what if his wife really did go abroad? Notice this. What if his wife really did go abroad? Oh. So that means really for him, this is a disaster. It is pleasant to travel alone or in the society of light. Careless women who live in the present are not such as think and talk all the journey about nothing but their children, sigh and tremble with dismay over every farthing. Ivan Dimitrich imagined his wife in the train with a multitude of parcels, baskets, and bags. She would be sighing over something, complaining that the train made her head ache, and so on. You know, the husband here is saying, my God, I don't want to take her with me. And, you know, the kids, you see here in the story, even we don't know where the kids are. We don't see the kids. We don't know if they are, you know, if they have children or not. She would go begrudge me every farthing, he thought, with a glance at his wife. The lottery ticket is hers, not mine. Besides, what is the use of her going abroad? What does she want there? She would shut herself up in the hotel and not let me out of her sight. I know. You know, yeah, boys, can I ask you a question, boys? Where are you? Boys. Hello, my friends.
Yes, Mr.
What do you think? Do we have men
Maybe
like this? Do we have men like this who don't like to travel with their families and kids? They want to be on their own?
yes, definitely, definitely yes.
We
There is
have.
someone like this.
Huh?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the mentality here. Look at the mentality of men here. They want to be on their own, to go abroad. They said, look at the negative attitude. They look down on women to say, what do you want? Well, why do they want to go abroad? As if going abroad is only the specialty of men, not women. Why should she go abroad? Look at this mentality here. Men's question here, very masculine question. Why should she go abroad? Why should she go on a journey? Come on, man. What's wrong with you? I mean, this is your family, your wife and kids, you know? And he's saying, why should she? And again, he's very funny and amazing that he's still saying, well, it's her money. You know, sometimes I say this to my wife, really, in reality. I say, you know, and this is really true. This is my real, if you like, story here. I really don't believe that, you know, we say, you know, money, you know, or the man has his money and the wife has her money. That's not good. You know, the family's money, it's the house's money. It's the family's money. It's not the wife's money or the husband's money. This is my belief. I'm not judging anybody. I think this is better to say, well, the family is an establishment. The house, the family, kids, man and wife is an establishment, is a company where we all work together. We put the main capital together. It's our money, not my money. It's our money. Our money. Okay? And really here when he's saying it's her money, not mine, again, it shows really this, again here, maybe this selfish attitude about people sometimes. And I think here the narrator is laughing at that in so many ways, really, about this, about that. He said, again, the word notice here, begrudge me. She would begrudge me. Yeah. How do you say in Omani? She would begrudge me every farthing. Huh? Boys. My boys. My boys, where are you? Oh, come on, boys. I can see names, but I can't hear voices. Where are you? Hmm? Yeah. Well, that's online learning. That's really good about online learning. Yeah? Hmm. Right, let me take attendance, please. Muhammad Saeed. Muhammad. Suha.
Yes, doctor.
Saud.
Yes, doctor.
Ahmed Khalfan.
Yes, doctor.
Ahmed Salim,
Yes, doctor.
Marwa,
Yes, doctor.
Huthaina,
Yes, doctor.
Haneen,
Yes, doctor.
Noor, Noor,
Yes, master.
you are Noor?
Yes.
And what's your grandfather's name?
سعودي أبو سعيدي.
Your grandfather.
Safe. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, Abdullah,
Yes, doctor.
Razan,
Yes, doctor.
Sumaya,
Present, doctor.
Idris.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, so I thought you are asleep, so that's why I wanted to talk and to participate, but it seems you are not in the mood. I know. Sometimes people are not, yeah, I understand when you really don't want to say anything. Okay, so I'm saying really here the idea, the word begrudge really means, she is absolutely she feels terribly mean that she will not give him one single penny, only even here, because the word farthing begrudge me every farthing. Yani, as we say in Omani currency, bisa. Even she will not be happy to give me even one little bisa, as we say. Huh? The lottery ticket is hers, not mine. Besides, what's the use of her going abroad again? And for the first time in his life, his mind dwelt on the fact that his wife had grown elderly and plain, and that she was saturated through and through with the smell of cooking, while he was still young, fresh, and healthy, and might well have got married again. Suha,
Yes, doctor.
what's this through and through, saturated through and through?
Which line? I missed the line.
Yeah, I'm saying here, for the first time in his life, his mind dwelt on the fact that his wife had grown elderly and plain, and that she was saturated through and through with the smell of cooking, while he was still young, fresh, and healthy, and might well have got married again.
Yeah,
What do you think of this?
He locked the wife in the house with the children, cooking in the kitchen, and then he said she smelled like cooking, and she don't talk about anything but children. Well, you made her.
Yeah, what do you think? Look at him, he said, look what he said, saturated through and through. Can you translate this to Arabic?
Well, I don't know.
What is saturated through and through with the smell of cooking? Yeah, anybody?
Answer.
Yeah? Who's speaking? Haneen?
No, not me.
Yes, me.
Who? Who's? Sumaya?
Maya speaking.
Yeah, what is it? What
It means
is the meaning?
completely,
Yeah.
like to the
Can you
largest extent.
To the largest extent. Yeah. How do you say it in Arabic? Can you tell me? saturated through and through with the smell of cooking. Yeah? Do you know how to translate this?
Yes.
Yeah.
عن ظهر قلب.
عن ظهر قلب. كيف يعني ظهر قلب؟ ما نحن عم نحكي عن الطبخ
يعني
والنفخ
تماما
بالمطبخ.
Yes. بالمطبخ. Through and
Yeah,
through.
she's cooking, isn't it? He said, notice.
She smells like kitchen بكل معنى الكلمة.
وحتى آخر
Yeah, حتى آخر رمق. يعني saturated. What's saturated?
مشبعة.
برافو عليك. Yeah, مشبعة. But how do you say مشبعة?
No, we don't use this word.
Yeah, how do you say it if you want to describe this? A wife in the kitchen and she smells, all her body smells with the cooking. What would you say? Huh? Come on.
We don't
Good
see.
Arabic. Huh?
Kitchen smell.
Yeah. We have a very good saying in Arabic. We say it. رائحة المطبخ معشعشة فيها من رأسها لوين؟
حتى
لرجلها.
حتى
أخمص قدميها.
برافو عليكي. نعم نعم. Through and through. من راسها لرجليها. ريحتها طالعة بالطبخ. سؤال.
يا دكتور.
ما شاء الله عليه رجال. رجال.
He think women are so shy.
No. He's saying, وهو
يعني
ما شاء الله عليه. Look at him. He said, while he was still young, fresh, healthy, and might get another wife. Allah.
Doctor,
Sorry?
I thought this thing is just with Arabs, men, but now I change my mind.
You thought what?
That this thought is just with Arabs, men, not with the other countries. I thought this with us.
Yeah, Marwa, this is an international disease, you know. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah. It's not only Arabs. No. Really, this is funny. Absolutely funny. And then writer is saying, yeah. Look at him now. He's thinking that he's still young. Why can't he get married again? You know, this is really funny, absolutely ridiculous. And the narrator is laughing at him and ridiculing him, you know? And he's saying here, of course, all that silly nonsense he thought. You know, now he comes back to reality saying, maybe this is nonsense. And then again he thought, but why should she go abroad? What would she make of it? And yet she would go, of course. I can fancy in reality it's all one of her, all one to her. Whether it's Naples or Clinton, she would only be in my way. I should be dependent upon her. I can fancy how, like a regular woman, she will lock the money up as soon as she gets it. She will look after her relations and grudge me every farthing. You know, again, this is the funny thing that we men sometimes we all say, yeah, تعطي الفلوس لأهلها. دائما فلوسها لأهلها. You know, this is funny, isn't it? People sometimes, I know this, you know, people say that, yeah, and he thinks that she will give money to her relations, but not to him. Again, this is really amazing and funny in many ways. Ivan Dimitrich remembered his own. Ivan Dimitrich thought of her relations. All those wretched brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles would come crawling about as soon as they heard of the winning ticket, would begin whining like beggars and fawning upon them with oily, hypocritical smiles. Really, this is funny expression. If I want to translate this, I don't know. I mean, when you say, if you want to say, this is really very funny expression. Oily smiles. I mean, we say ضحكة صفراء, but we don't say ضحكة مزيتة. Do you say that? Huh?
No.
No.
أو ضحكة دهنية. I don't know. What's oily? Oily smiles? This is really funny, isn't it? I mean, I don't know, but this is what it means. It means very, very false and hypocritical. We say when you are really hypocrite and you want to smile, we say ضحكة صفراء. We say, I don't know. I mean, this is really very funny to express. I'm trying to think about it in Arabic, which is, we don't say it in Arabic. ضحكة مزيتة or ضحكة. I don't know. ضحكة.
It means creepy smile.
I know what it means, but I'm trying to translate this. I know what it means. I'm saying.
Don't use it.
Yeah, I'm saying in Arabic, it's funny to say oily smile. ضحكة مزيتة ولا دهنية ولا إيش؟ ولا مشرشرة ولا إيش؟ ها؟
خبيثة.
Yeah, I know. But there is a word for خبيثة, but not oily. I'm looking at the word oily, which makes me really amazing and funny to see the use of the word oily smile. Anyway,
Maybe there is a story behind using this word in such, in such sentence.
I'm sure if you check it deeply, maybe you can go back, maybe you'll find the origin of this word. But yeah, I mean, this is cultural. We don't use it in Arabic culture, I think, to say oily. Or it could be maybe sometimes you say painted. It means false. You are painting yourself something which is not you. Yeah, it could be. Wretched, detestable people. If they were giving anything, they would ask for more. While if they were refused, they would swear at them, slander them, and wish them every kind of misfortune. Again, I think this is a very funny, absolutely funny judgment by the narrator about relations. I don't know. Do you say here in Arabic al-aqarib aqarib?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes.
Do you say that? Yeah, al-aqarib aqarib. Do you say that?
Yes.
Funny,
Yes.
isn't it? Funny. Why aqarib? La ilaha illallah. Hasbi Allah. Why?
Because they bad.
This is really funny. Here he's talking about that. Really, that's his idea. He said, wretched, detestable people. And they are, it goes on about being hypocritical, and they are whining, and they are always crawling, and they are begging and fawning, right? And notice, and if you give them anything, they will never be happy. They want more. And even if you refuse them, they will make you, as we say, They will bedevil you, really. They will make you like devils. This is really terrible. Again, say slander, notice, slander. And they will give you all kinds of bad language, only because you don't give them. Hasbi Allah. So really the idea really here, the narrator is again judging this in a very funny, amazing way, I think in every society. Ivan Dimitrich remembered his own relations and their faces at which he had looked impartially in the past, struck him now as repulsive and hateful. So not only her relations, who are hypocrites, who are oily smiles, who are, you know, phoning, or who are begging, his own, even he said, his own relations are the same. Yeah. And I think this is really funny. Sometimes people always say this. And this is in reality, really, they say, you know, the question here of being repulsive and hateful. Again, I think this is the idea of being exactly what he said, you know, aqarib. Exactly, that's what aqarib, repulsive and hateful. I mean, this is really strange, and it should not be really. There are, again, notice here, they are such reptiles, he thought. What? Reptiles? You know reptiles? يا لهم من زواحف. استغفر الله. زواحف؟ ها؟ يعني سلاحف وأفاعي come on. ها? We just said عقارب, reptiles. And that's the word, reptile. Means those crawling animals. Come on, I think this is too much. And his wife's face too struck him as repulsive and hateful. Astaghfirullah. So now he looks at his wife and he thinks that his wife also is looking like a reptile and being like a scorpion. Huh? Anger surged up in his heart against her, and he thought malignantly. He now looks at her and he really hates her. She knows nothing about money, so she is stingy. Again, he goes back about the idea of being stingy and being miserly, and she will not give him any money. If she wanted, she would give me 100 rubles and put the rest away under lock and key. And he looked at his wife, not with a smile now, but with hatred. She glanced at him too, and also with hatred and anger. She had her own daydreams, her own plans, her own reflections. She understood perfectly well what her husband's dreams were. She knew who would be the first to try to grab her winnings. La ilaha illallah. What kind of family is this? What kind of husband and wife we have here? So they know each other to be really. Why are they married here? Why are they married, these people here? What kind of marriage is this? She knows him. She knows his plans. She has her own plans. She has her own reflections. She understood him well, her husband. She knew who would be the first to try to grab her winnings. It's very nice making the dreams at other people's expense, is what her eyes expressed. No, don't you dare. So this is it. You know, she's saying, yeah, if you want to get married, get your own money and marry with your own money. Don't take my money and marry another wife, you wicked man. You're saying to him, You're doing it in your own, on other people's expenses. You want to enjoy yourself at my expenses, and your wife take my money and marry another wife? No, no, no. How dare you? How dare you? Her husband understood her look. You see, so they know each other without saying a word, by the way. Huh? So they know each other. This is good. At least they knew, you know, they can understand. Notice, her husband understood her look. Hatred began stirring again in his breast. And in order to annoy his wife, he glanced quickly to spite her at the 4th page on the newspaper and read out triumphantly, Series 9499, number 46, not 26. Isn't it? Isn't it? طق وموتي يا شحاري. طق وموتي. Isn't it, يا سهى?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what it means. He said, yeah, your number is not a winner. You did not win. Hatred and hope had disappeared at once, and it began immediately to seem to Ivan Dmitrich and his wife that their rooms were dark and small and low-pitched, that the supper they had been eating was not doing them good, but lying heavily on their stomachs, that the evenings were long and wearisome. What the devil is the meaning of it? Said Ivan Dmitrich, beginning to be ill-humored. Wherever one steps, there are bits of paper under one's feet, crumbs, husks. The rooms are never swept. One is simply forced to go out. Damnation take my soul entirely. I shall go and hang myself on the first aspen tree. ما شاء الله عليك رجال يا أخي. رجال. Isn't it? Look again, this is really amazing. Now, for him, everything seems terrible and ugly. Now the house is never clean. Now the house is never swept. Now the paper, you know, the bits and, you know, crumbs and bits and pieces, etc., husks, everything. You know, he said that. Yeah. You know, sometimes we say this, I don't know in Omani if you say this, which means in Arabic, like in Arabic, if you want to say, sometimes we say you pick out trouble from under your nails. You pick out problems and trouble from under your nails if you want to. If you don't find trouble everywhere or anywhere in the house, you create problems. Because if you are not in the mood, you create problems from nowhere. And that's what happened here too. At the beginning, he was very happy. He had his supper. Everything was fine and lovely. And now he's completely, you know, out of the mood, and he wants to kill himself. I shall go out and hang myself on the first aspen tree. Allah la yurdek ma'a salama. Inqala. What do you think? Yeah, so this is really the idea here. I think if you have any question, I can answer you now. If you don't, then that's it for today's boys and girls. If you have any question, please I will start next week the next short story here, Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart. We'll do that next time, The Telltale Heart. Okay? And I'll stop sharing now, and I will stop recording as well.